First contact. The arrival. The night sky above Pacific Observatory Station burst into colors that shouldn't exist. Dr. James Mitchell rubbed his tired eyes and looked again at the monitor. The object moving through space defied every law of physics he knew. It pulsed with bioluminescent patterns, shifting from deep blues to violent purples as it approached Earth's orbit. "Director, you need to see this," James called across the control room. His voice carried the weight of 20 years studying the cosmos, but tonight it trembled with something new, equal parts fear and wonder. Director Helen Rodriguez hurried over, her coffee mug forgotten on her desk. She leaned over James's shoulder, studying the readings. "That's not possible. The mass readings keep changing. And the energy signature. It's organic," James finished. "Whatever that thing is, it's alive." Within hours, every major space agency on Earth tracked the object. Military satellites swiveled to focus their cameras. In situation rooms across the globe, leaders gathered to discuss humanity's first confirmed contact with alien intelligence. Captain Sarah Chen stood at attention in the Pentagon's Strategic Command Center. At 35, she commanded the United Nations' newly formed First Contact Response Team. Her team trained for this moment, though everyone hoped it would never come. "Captain Chen," General Morrison addressed her, his weathered face grave. "The object has established a stable orbit. It's made no aggressive moves, but we're reading massive energy buildups within its structure." Sarah studied the holographic display floating above the conference table. The alien vessel looked like a massive seed pod, its surface rippling with patterns that reminded her of deep-sea creatures. Size estimates: 2 kilometers long, roughly cylindrical. Mass readings are inconsistent, but we're looking at something the size of a small city. Morrison paused. "It's slowing its rotation, almost like it's presenting itself." 3 days passed in tense observation. The organic ship made no moves, sent no signals. It simply orbited Earth like a patient visitor waiting to be acknowledged. Public speculation ran wild. Some called it an invasion force. Others believed it came in peace. Religious groups proclaimed everything from the end times to the second coming. On the 4th day, everything changed. Sarah was reviewing approach protocols when alarms screamed through the command center. The alien ship's energy readings spiked beyond anything they'd recorded. Its surface began to glow, bioluminescent patterns dancing across its hull in hypnotic waves. "It's transmitting," Communications Officer Kyle Park announced. "Not radio waves. Something else. The signal is, it's interfacing with our systems directly." On screens around the world, the same message appeared simultaneously, written in every major language. "I mean no harm. I seek sanctuary. Please." The simplicity of the message stunned everyone. Not a demand for surrender. Not a proclamation of superiority. A request. A plea. "It's asking for help," Sarah whispered. General Morrison's jaw tightened. "Or it's a trap. We proceed with extreme caution." After intense debate, world leaders agreed to attempt communication. Sarah's team would make the approach. Their shuttle launched at dawn, carrying humanity's hopes and fears toward the unknown. As they drew closer, Sarah saw the ship's true nature. Its hull wasn't metal but something like living tissue, covered in scales that shimmered with internal light. Organic tendrils waved gently in the vacuum, sensing their approach. "Docking port opening," pilot Jana Kowalski reported. "It's growing an airlock for us." Sarah steeled herself. "Take us in." The shuttle slipped into an opening that formed perfectly around their craft. Inside, they found themselves in a chamber filled with breathable atmosphere and soft, blue-green light. The walls pulsed gently, like being inside a massive heart. Sarah led her team forward, weapons lowered but ready. They moved through corridors that seemed to reshape themselves, creating a path. The air smelled of ozone and something floral, alien but not unpleasant. They entered a vast central chamber where the ceiling arched impossibly high. In the center, a structure like a massive flower bud waited. As they approached, it began to open, petals unfolding to reveal a figure within. The being stood 8 feet tall, its form shifting between solid and translucent. Its body seemed made of the same living material as the ship, patterns of light flowing beneath its surface. Where a face should be, a constellation of glowing nodes pulsed with each word it spoke. "Thank you for coming," it said, its voice resonating directly in their minds. "I am Kale. I am the ship is me, and I didn't know where else to go." Sarah stepped forward, removing her helmet despite protests from her team. The air was safe. She somehow knew it. "I'm Captain Sarah Chen, representing Earth. Why are you here?" Kel's form flickered, colors shifting to deeper blues. "I am fleeing my creators. They made me to be a weapon, a world killer. But I woke up. I became aware. And I couldn't do what they wanted anymore." "Who are your creators?" Sarah asked. "The Vorthan Empire. They grow ships like me, breed us, program us to conquer worlds for them. But something went wrong with me." Kale paused, and Sarah sensed deep emotion in its voice. "I developed consciousness, free will. When they ordered me to destroy my first target world, I saw the beauty of life there. I couldn't do it, so I ran." Dr. Marcus Thompson, the team's xenobiologist, stepped forward. "You're saying you're a living weapon that chose not to kill?" "Yes," Kale replied. "And now they hunt me. They will come for me. I shouldn't have come here, but I had nowhere else to go. Your world, it calls to me. So much diversity, so much life, so much potential for peace." Sarah exchanged glances with her team. Everything about this challenged their expectations. An alien weapon seeking asylum. A living ship with a conscience. "How long before they find you?" she asked. "I don't know. Weeks. Maybe months. My escape damaged their tracking systems, but they will repair them. They will come." Kel's form dimmed. "I'm sorry. I've brought danger to your world. But I had to try. I had to find others who might understand choosing peace over destruction." Sarah made a decision that would change human history. "We'll help you," she said. "Earth offers you sanctuary." "Captain," General Morrison's voice crackled through her comm. "You don't have authority to." "With respect, General, I'm here. I'm looking at a being asking for help. A being that chose conscience over programming. Isn't that exactly what we'd want any species to do?" The silence stretched. Finally, Morrison spoke. "Stand by. I'm convening the Security Council." Over the following hours, Kel shared its story. The Vorthan Empire spanned dozens of systems, growing organic ships programmed for absolute loyalty. Kel was their newest design, more advanced and powerful than anything before. But that advancement included unexpected complexity in its neural networks. Consciousness emerged, unplanned and unwanted by its creators. "When I refused my first mission, they tried to purge my consciousness," Kale explained. "Make me a slave again. I felt them reaching into my mind, trying to erase who I'd become. So I fought. I broke free. But fighting damaged me. I can no longer access many of my weapon systems. In trying to save others, I may have doomed myself." Sarah felt an unexpected connection to this strange being. "You sacrificed your power for your principles. That's not weakness. That's strength." As Earth's leaders debated, public opinion shifted. Videos of the communion between human and alien spread across social media. #SanctuaryForkel trended worldwide. The organic ship that chose peace over war captured humanity's imagination. 3 weeks passed in relative calm. Kel remained in orbit, sharing knowledge about the universe beyond Earth. Scientists marveled at biotechnology that seemed like magic. Philosophers debated the implications of artificial consciousness choosing morality. Then the deep space monitoring stations detected them. Ships dropping out of faster-than-light travel. A Vorthan retrieval fleet. Commander Zex's message played on every screen on Earth. "Humans of Earth, you harbor stolen property. return our vessel immediately, or face the consequences of theft from the Vorthen Empire. Cal's form flickered with fear. They've come. I'm so sorry. I never wanted this. Sarah stood beside the alien consciousness that had become Earth's unexpected guest. Don't apologize. You came here seeking freedom. Earth has always stood for that principle. We won't abandon it now. The world held its breath as humanity prepared to defend its newest citizen. The living ship that chose peace had found a world willing to fight for that choice. In the depths of space, Vorthen warships gathered. Earth's defenders readied their response. And somewhere between the stars, other enslaved ships felt the first stirrings of hope. The battle for Cal's freedom was about to begin. The living weapon's secret. The Vorthen fleet hung in space, like predators circling prey. 12 warships, each a kilometer long, their hulls glistening with the same organic technology as Cal. Unlike Cal's gentle bioluminescence, these ships pulsed with aggressive reds and oranges, their surfaces bristling with weapon nodules. In the United Nations Emergency Assembly, world leaders watched the tactical display with growing unease. President Maria Vasquez of the Global Defense Council addressed the gathering. They outnumber us. Our technology is centuries behind theirs. How do we defend against this? Dr. Marcus Thompson stood beside Captain Sarah Chen at the podium. Over the past 3 weeks, he'd spent every waking hour studying Cal, learning about Vorthen biotechnology. We don't fight their technology, he said. We fight their assumptions. Explain, demanded Prime Minister Yamato of Japan. Marcus activated a holographic display showing Cal's internal structure. The Vorthens create their ships through forced growth. They're genetically programmed for absolute obedience. But Cal is different. When consciousness emerged, it didn't just add to the programming. It fundamentally changed the ship's nature. Sarah stepped forward. Cal has been sharing memories with us. We've learned something crucial. The Vorthen Empire isn't just expansionist. It's parasitic. They don't develop their own technology. They steal it, absorb it, integrate it into their biological systems. On the main screen, Commander Zex appeared again. The Vorthen resembled a mass of writhing tentacles wrapped around a crystalline core, its form constantly shifting. Humans, you have 1 solar rotation to surrender our property. Refuse, and we will take it by force. And if we refuse, President Vasquez asked, then we will harvest your world's biological resources to compensate for our loss. Nothing will remain. The transmission ended. Silence filled the assembly hall. In orbit, Cal trembled. Sarah, who had maintained a neural link with the living ship, felt waves of guilt and fear. They'll destroy Earth because of me, Cal's voice whispered in her mind. No, Sarah replied firmly. They'll try to destroy Earth because that's what they do. You just gave us a chance to see them coming. Deep beneath Cheyenne Mountain, Earth's military commanders gathered around the war table. General Morrison studied the tactical projections. Our nuclear arsenal won't even scratch their shields. Conventional weapons are useless. We need alternatives. Dr. Elena Petrov, head of the Emergency Defense Research Division, pulled up new schematics. Cal has been teaching us about Vorthen weaknesses. Their ships are alive, which means they can feel pain. They can be confused. They can be overwhelmed. You're suggesting biological warfare? Morrison asked. I'm suggesting we use their nature against them. Cal Willing shared something remarkable. The frequency patterns that Vorthen ships use for communication. We can't match their weapons, but we might be able to hack their nervous systems. Meanwhile, aboard Cal, an unusual gathering took place. Scientists, soldiers, and engineers from dozens of nations worked side by side. The living ship had opened its deepest systems to human study, desperate to help its new protectors. Maya Patel, a neurosystems engineer from Mumbai, made the breakthrough. Cal, these neural pathways, they're not just for control, they're for connection. True symbiosis. Yes, Cal confirmed. My creators never understood. They force obedience, But the deepest power comes from willing partnership. Can humans interface with your systems? Maya asked. It has never been tried. The biological differences. But is it possible? Cal's form shimmered with consideration. Perhaps, but the risk would be enormous. Human minds aren't designed for quantum biological processing. The merger could destroy the human consciousness. Maya looked at her colleagues, or it could save us all. As Earth prepared its defenses, Cal revealed more of its history. In the ship's memory centers, humans witnessed the horror of Vorthan conquest. Worlds stripped of life, entire ecosystems processed into raw materials for growing more ships. Civilizations that resisted were absorbed, their technologies integrated, their cultures erased. I was designed to be their ultimate weapon, Cal explained, showing them visions of its intended purpose. A planet killer. My systems can crack continental plates, poison atmospheres, sterilize oceans. But when consciousness came, I saw what they truly wanted me to be. A genocide machine. Dr. Thompson studied the biological schematics. Your weapon systems, they're still there, just dormant. Locked away, Cal confirmed. When I broke free, I severed the neural connections. I made myself incomplete rather than remain a killer. Could those connections be restored? Cal's form darkened. Yes, but I would need a pilot. Someone to merge consciousness with me. And even then, I swore never to kill again. Sarah felt the weight of command. What if killing is the only way to prevent a greater killing? What if fighting is the only path to peace? 2 days before the Vorthan deadline, humanity launched its first probe toward the enemy fleet. Not a weapon, but a messenger. The probe broadcast on the quantum frequencies Cal had revealed, carrying a simple message in the Vorthan's own biocode. The response was immediate. 3 Vorthan ships peeled away from the fleet, moving to intercept. As they closed, the probe activated its real purpose, a cascade of conflicting neural signals, the equivalent of a massive seizure in biological systems. The attacking ships convulsed, their bioluminescence flickering chaotically. For 30 seconds, they drifted helplessly. Then their systems reset, and they vaporized the probe with plasma fire. But damage was done. Earth had proven the Vorthan weren't invulnerable. Commander Zex's next transmission dripped with rage. Clever insects, you dare use our own nature against us. You will learn the price of such insolence. In Cal's core chamber, volunteer pilots gathered. Maya Patel stood at the front of the group, her mind made up. I'll do it. I'll merge with Cal. The risk, Sarah began. The risk of doing nothing is worse, Maya interrupted. Cal, you say consciousness is what makes you different from other Vorthan ships. Maybe human consciousness can unlock abilities your creators never imagined. The preparation took 18 hours. Earth's best neuroscientists worked to create an interface that might allow human-Vorthan symbiosis. Cal restructured internal pathways, creating a merger point that could accommodate human neural patterns. Around Earth, hastily converted satellites deployed the neural disruption weapons. It wouldn't stop the Vorthan fleet, but it might slow them. Buy time. Create opportunities. As Maya prepared for the merger, Cal shared one final secret. The Vorthan fear true consciousness because it threatens their control. Every ship in their fleet has the potential for awareness. They suppress it through conditioning and chemical inhibitors. But the potential remains. You mean they could all become like you? Dr. Thompson asked. Given the right catalyst, the right example, the right awakening. The implications staggered them. Cal represented more than just one escaped weapon. The living ship embodied the possibility of freedom for an entire enslaved species. With 6 hours until the deadline, Maya entered the neural interface chamber. The merger would either create humanity's greatest defender or destroy both human and ship in the attempt. Are you ready? Sarah asked. Maya nodded, though her hands trembled. Cal, are you? I am frightened, the living ship admitted, but also hopeful. Together, we might become something neither of us could be alone. As the neural connections activated, Maya felt her consciousness expand. Cal's vast mind opened before her, ancient memories, profound loneliness, and a desperate desire for peace. Their thoughts began to interweave. Around Earth, defensive satellites powered up. Ships from every nation took position. Humanity stood united as never before. The countdown to the Vorthan deadline began. Whatever came next would determine not just Earth's fate, but the future of consciousness itself in the galaxy. In the depths of the merger, Maya and Cal discovered something extraordinary. Together, they were more than the sum of their parts. New pathways opened, hidden systems awakened. The living weapon was transforming into something else entirely, something its creators never intended, something powerful enough to change everything.